So I think we can start already, no? Sunod na lang sila. Okay, so just an announcement before we start, our midterm will be scheduled next week na pala. So I think it's time to for you to prepare, no? Start reading already, especially nabigay ko naman na yung module ninyo for midterm. And for the updates na itong last topic natin ngayon will be the last topic for midterm. So it will still be part of your midterm exam, no? So i-send ko na lang yung updated copy, no, for this subject later on. So it's I think you should start preparing already for your exam. Okay, so without further ado, let us start our discussion already for module 6. Let me just share my screen. By the way, okay ba guys yung audio natin? Malinaw naman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So we are on module 5 already, Okay. Module 5 or module 6? Mali yata ako naglagay. Module 6 of the comparative models in policing, no? For today, we're going to be talking about the Comstat and evidence-based policing. So, bali dalawang policing strategy or policing program lang yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Last meeting, we discussed also some of the policing program, like for example, the hotspot policing. We also discussed the program-based policing program, problem-based policing program, and as well as the third-party policing. No? So I do hope that clear pa, no? Naalala niyo pa yung mga pinag-usapan natin last meeting. Some of them are related to what we are going to be discussing today, no? And sana lang, no, hindi niyo makalimutan yung mga different policing strategies na pinag-uusapan natin at that is the main purpose, or that is the main issues that we should be talking about under the subject matter comparative models in policing, no? So as I've stated, we're just going to be talking about two policing program. We have the Comstat, no, or computer statistic, and we have the evidence-based policing, which is closely related doon sa problem-based policing program na pinag-usapan natin in the previous lecture. Okay, so we have here the Comstat Policing. What is Comstat Policing? By the way, this is no longer new. It's no longer a new concept of policing, but probably we just don't know the term for this. No, we just don't know the history about the Comstat Policing. And I believe in our country, meron na rin tayong tinatawag na ganitong uri ng program, So the Comstat Policing originally had existed in year 1994 pa, no? Comstat is a short term for computer statistics, or doon sa iba, computer comparison statistics. It is a multifaceted system for managing police operation used in many different law enforcement agencies across United States and also around the world, no? So I've been asking kanina if they have this doon sa mga kakilala ko na nasa serbisyo, if they have this in the PNP organization. So they have other term for this, like for example the MPOC, Municipal Peace and Order Council, no, and the PPOC, Provincial Peace and Order Council, which is the same concept with regards to the Comstat Policing. Under the Comstat Policing kasi, it is a way of it is a policing system wherein the different head of office, different chief of police, no, are meeting together, no? Nagmi-meet sila either weekly or monthly or even yearly. But the ideal for this is to have a weekly meeting, no? Ano yung mga pag-uusapan nila under the meeting? It's about the crime situation within their area of jurisdiction, So, pag-uusapan nila ngayon yung mga different crimes that are existing within their jurisdiction, including na doon yung mga crime statistic, no? Ano, meron bang pagtaas ng krimen within their jurisdiction, no? Meron bang specific crime na kung saan is tumaas ang kanyang crime rate doon sa jurisdiction na yan for a specific period, like for example, if weekly, no? Pag every week ang meeting ng mga member ng mga head of office of the PNP organization, then they will report, no, the crime situation in their jurisdiction within that specific week, no? So it's very it's a good strategy here, no? Because the different police organization or different units, no, the different police units on the different jurisdiction will learn, no, will gain knowledge, no, or valuable information about the crime situation in other areas, no. And with this, kasali kasi dito sa Comstat meeting na to yung mga progress on how they deal with the crime situation within that area, no. Kasali din dyan yung mga existing strategies that they are adopting, and the efficiency, the test of efficiency of the different programs that they had adopted. So maraming information ang dinidisclose during the weekly meetings, and lahat ng ito, no? Lahat ng ito, kasi baka iisipin nyo, so what is the relationship of the computer statistic with regards to this? This data that are being collected through the report of the different head of office, no, are being collated, no? Pinagsasama-sama yun lahat sa isang computer database, no? And then nagkakaroon sila ng analysis with regards to these different things. Now, like for example, the municipality of Jones and other municipality of Isabela, no, they will convene together, na magkakaroon sila ng meeting wherein sasabihin ng municipality of Jones, so ito yung tumaas na crime dito sa amin, no? Tumaas ang crime rate ng robbery, no? Ang mode of operation nila is ganito, no? Ang age ng mga nai-involve ay ganito, ang common victim nila ay mga ganito, and so on. So, yan ay ipapasok nila doon sa kanilang database. The same also with regards to the different municipalities. Kung magre-report din ang municipality ng magre-report din ang municipality of Daguilian, no? San Mariano, and other municipalities here in the province of Isabela, no? If there is something like, pare-parehas ang observation ng different municipalities in this province regarding the existence of crime, or regarding the factors that produces or causes the existence of crime, then they will be collating those data, and they will have a strategic meeting, or they will come up with a strategic meeting or system, no, or a management process on how to deal with these issues. So again, no, it's very important that police organizations should have weekly, no, meetings that has something to do with the briefing or updating each and every station, as well as the top management of the PNP organization, no, in that specific location. Para nang sa ganun is they can come up with a timely crime prevention response, no? Makapag-isip sila ng kumbaga is napapanahon, no? Naaayon doon sa mga reported issues that are existing in that specific jurisdiction. So that's the very purpose of that, ano? Kasi with this we can be able to identify yung crime hotspot, no? Based on the report of the different municipalities, no? Kasi kung they're going to input that into a certain application, a certain computer, which they will develop a certain program that is readily accessible to all of the police officers, no? Na-imagine nyo yung parang kumbaga sa ibang bansa wherein merong doon sa mismong patrol car, they have the computer, no, wherein nakalagay doon, nandun yung mapa, no, kumbaga may GPS doon, and on that GPS is nakalagay doon yung mga areas na kung saan may mga crime na naganap in the recent week, no, at ano yung crime, no, pag pinindot nila yung part na yun, it will show what crime was committed, no, in that specific area, who are the person in charge, what are the modus operandi, and many other information, valuable information that has something to do with the crime situation in that area. That would be very much valuable. Ano? Kasi, for example, you wanted to focus your patrolling in a certain area. No? You wanted to visit a certain area also. Now, with the information that the database can provide you, you can be able to come up with the better strategy or better approach before coming up into such area. Tingin nyo paano na-identify ng ating mga kapulisan yung crime hotspot, yung area wherein there is a sudden increase in criminality, no? How could they be able to pinpoint those? Of course, with all the data that they are being provided with by different units, no? Yun yung kanilang basis for them to identify or to come up with the specific location, no? Of the so-called crime hotspot, no? So, other of the benefit, no, iba pa sa mga benefit ng pag-follow natin ng Comstat na to is of course with regards to the accurate and timely intelligence that are being gathered, ano? So, kapag merong coordination or cooperation between different agencies at they're updating each other, they're sharing valuable information with each other, they are being guided as to the different information that they need, that they may found it useful in how they approach also the criminality within that area. No? Kung meron, for example, specific program or strategy na inadapt yung isang municipality, and because of this sharing of information by different police unit, yung mga ibang municipality facing the same problem could adapt the strategies that was developed by other units, no? And also with regards to the information that they're gathering, halimbawa itong isang municipality nag-report that there is a new drugs that is introduced into their municipality, ano? So the other agencies will be also, other units will also be informed, and they will have the time to prepare on how are they going to approach the possible existence of such problems similar to what was reported in other municipalities, no? If we're going to take, for example, the case of COVID-19, di ba, ngayong pandemic, how did the other countries prepared for the existence of pandemic? First, it was reported in other countries, in foreign countries. So ngayon nagkaroon sila ng assembly. They discuss all of this, the existence of such problem, which also warned yung mga other countries na wala pang pumapasok ng mga ganong virus sa kanilang country, ano? So with that, they were able to prepare at least. So naggawa sila ng tinatawag nating quarantine protocols, no? Nag-ban sila ng mga country, no? Nagsarado sila ng mga airports, no? Seaports and other means of transportation to prevent, no? To protect the citizens and to prevent the entrance of the problem to their jurisdiction. So if we're going to relate this also to criminality, that could be achieved also through this weekly meeting or through this information sharing by the different PNP units. And it's very good, no? If in case they can be able to develop a certain computer program that would collate all this information, no? Which will make it readily available for other units, for other police organizations, no, to access with, no? So kung halimbawa, okay, so there is this is the weekly report. Let's read it. Ano tong nakalagay ngayon sa weekly report? It states here that there is an increase already of crimes against property doon sa municipality na ganito. So we are expecting that in our jurisdiction may possibility din na magkaroon ng paglobo ng mga krimen involving crimes against property as per observed in other municipalities. How are we going to utilize that for the benefit of the for the benefit of our organization then, no? Paano natin papakinabangan yung information na yan? It could make us it could warn us, no, on the incoming problem, no? Pwedeng ma-warningan tayo kung ano yung possible na kaharapan natin in the near future, in the weeks, in the days to come, no? So we can be able to come up with a plan, no, in case nga na lumobo na rin ang crime problem dito sa ating lugar. So that's one of the benefit of of this type of policing system, ano? Napakaganda actually kasi there is cooperation, there is information sharing, and of course we are learning from the experience of others, especially on how they deal with the problem, ano? Halimbawa, doon sa report nila, sinabi din nila yung mga strategy na ginawa nila in order to suppress the problem, no? For example, yan, because municipality of Jones reported that there has been an increase of crimes against property for the for the past week, no? So they developed this specific strategy. Gumawa sila ng ganitong strategy in order to lessen the existence of the problem, of the crime problem in that municipality. For other municipalities, no, they could learn from the experience, no. They could learn from from the methodology of municipality of Jones in addressing the crime problem, the increasing crime problem of crimes against property within that area. So I think it's very useful, ano? It's really very useful to have this to have all this data because it will make them more prepared and it will make them more proactive on how they deal with the existence of criminality. So that's one of the principles, or that's one of the advantages of having this type of policing or adopting this type of policing strategy, ano? Second is we have here the effective tactics, as we have stated kanina, no? Relying on past success and appropriate resources, no? Command, staff, and other officers plan tactics that will respond fully to the identified problem, no, prior to its existence. So these tactics may include, of course, the creation, the law enforcement, no, the government, the community partners, and the local at the local, state, or even at the federal level, no? So it will not only, since sabi nga natin, crime is not only the problem of the law enforcement but the problem of everyone, no? It will also make them it could also prepare, no, the other stockholders, no? It could also prepare the rest of the community to the problems that we are going to be facing, no? For example, yan, ano pa ba? Let's look at the Marawi siege example, you know. So under the Marawi siege, since that place was already being taken under the control of the terrorist group, no. So how do you think the other municipalities or other places surrounding, no, adjacent to that area had prepared for possible invasion also from the terrorists? Sa tingin niyo, ano yung mga ginawa din nila para nang sa ganun is maprotektahan din yung kanilang mamamayan sa posibilidad na ganun din ang mangyari sa kanilang lugar na pwedeng sakupin or kamkamin din ng mga terorista? Well, that's the benefit of this, no, that they are being given prior warning, no, and it gives them more time to prepare for the problems to come, no? The development of tactics is indeed one of the benefit of that, no? The Comstat meeting provides a collective process for developing tactics, no, as well as the accountability for developing these tactics, no? So the other benefit of this is that we will know who will be accountable for the creation of the different programs that we have. Let's say, for example, this municipality had proposed that they should address their problem this way, no, and you had adopted that, no, in case it fails, you know who is accountable, no? Alam mo sinong hahabulin mo, not to the point naman na ibibintang mo sa kanya yung sisi, but then you know where to seek advice on how to better deal with the problem as per as the suggestion is coming from that person. Ano? Kasi, syempre, idea niya yan. He could have possibly prepared some other remedies or backup plan to address the issues he proposed. No? Now, with regards to rapid deployment also, if only we could be able to show, no, in in the what do you call this? In the computer data on the different crime progress that is currently happening within that area, it will give the police officer more time, no, to or it will give them more timely report on how they're going to approach the crime scene, ano? Kung sana ganun ka-advance ang ating technology, for example, na kapag merong isang krimen na currently nagaganap is nagpapakita na doon sa monitor ng kanilang mga computer, ng phone na ginagamit nila, mas madaling mag-respond sila that they don't need, okay, so there's a crime, no? There is a crime currently being committed in this area. Malapit lang naman tayo, pwede tayong rumisponde doon without even waiting for the call or waiting for the report coming from the waiting for the dispatch call from the PNP, no? So napakaganda if we have that progressive way of we have that progressive equipment, no, on how are we going to identify the different crime that are currently, no, that are happening timely, no. But for Comstat, we don't have that, but only, no, at least it gives them more information, no, on the different issues or different crime problem that has a tendency to exist. And with that, they're prepared. So they can be deployed rapidly. No? So, kapag na-anticipate mo na kasi yung problema, mas prepared ka na, mas madali ka nang mag-respond. Unlike for example, no? Dispatch mo lahat ng kapulisan to different places. No? You're not anticipating any problem. You're not anticipating any crime to exist. Then later on, biglang nag-exist. And nandun na, nasa field na lahat yung mga pulis mo, malalayo sila doon sa lugar. So, without anticipating, you fail to anticipate that there could be a problem like this to exist, mahihirapan ka na ngayon mag-deploy ng tao mo, lalo na kung na-deploy mo na sila sa iba't ibang lugar. No? Like for example, yung ibang kapulisan mo, dinala mo to be the VIP escort of some politicians during the campaign, ano? Yung iba naman is naka-off duty na, no? Yung iba naman is they're busy doing some other police work, no? So nung nagkaroon ng problema, wala ka ng reserba, no? Wala ka nang mailagay, wala ka nang mai-deploy, kailangan pa pang magtawag, maghintay ng officer na mababakante bago mo mapadalhan ng tao yung progressing crime that is currently being committed. No, so those are the problems that this Comstat is addressing. By having prior information, before the crime exists, it would enable you, of course, to wisely or accurately deploy the police officers, onto these specific areas where this crime is being committed. No? So this is in contrary to the reactive planning policing model. No? The Comstat model kasi strives to develop resources to where the crime, where there is a crime problem. No? As a means of heading off the problem before it turns or before it continues to escalate. So with the prior information that you could be able to select or to minimize the damage that could have possibly happen. No? With these tactics, we could deploy the police officers in a very timely manner. No? Because we know what we are waiting for, and we know what are the possible problem that will exist in a given time. No? Kung ganun ka prepared. No? So also another of the benefit of the Comstat Policing is that we have the relentless follow-up and assessment. Minsan kasi the problem with regards to the different crimes or different reports being submitted or complaints being submitted to the police officers or mahirap, no? Kumbaga is matagal ang proseso bago magkaroon ng updates and whatsoever, no? So with this, no, sa Comstat meeting na to, ay mapipilitan talaga yung mga kapulisan natin na gumalaw Kasi there is a timely reporting or there is a weekly reporting that is being monitored by the higher officials of the PNP. For example, you reported last week, no? Ikaw na hepe ng isang istasyon, ni-report mo that last week, no, merong ganitong crime, no? Merong dalawang crime na robbery na nangyari doon sa jurisdiction mo. So expected that next week, no, next week you will be reporting again. The top management of the PNP will be requesting a progress report as to as per as the report that you had mentioned, no, as per as the incident you had mentioned last week, no. So talagang mapre-pressure ka ngayon that to make action or to seek for information, no, para aksyonan mo yung mga crime na nag-exist within your jurisdiction last week kasi alam mong tatanungin nila yan pag nagkaroon kayo ulit ng meeting. Napakaganda, no, yung mga ganito kasi hindi na yung community mismo yung talagang mangungulit sa kapulisan pero pati na rin yung mga higher officials nila mangungulit na rin sa kanila with regards to the progress of the incidents that are being reported within their jurisdiction. And also, no, the problem focus strategies are normally judged as a success by a reduction in or absence of the initial crime problem. That's what we are talking about. Ano? If there is a progress with regards to the crime that was reported last week, no, then that is a measurement of success onto your jurisdiction. Pero kung nag-report ka, no, ngayon, ang nire-report mo is wala ka pa ring update or wala pa ring progress to the different incident, to the crime that was reported last week, then that will show that you are not working hard in order to give justice to the victims of the crime that you had reported last week. No? So it's a pressure onto the part of the unit or the station to conduct a follow-up, no? To conduct an assessment in order for them to have something to report on the next meeting that they will be convening again. No? So that's some. No? Sabi ko nga, this is not new. So our police organization had also adopted their own way. No? Yun nga lang is monthly. No? According to the information that was mentioned to me, their meeting is usually conducted monthly. Okay? Maybe that's to give them more time to consolidate the information that they have or to check onto the progress of the different incidents that they had reported. But really, the focus is that it's about the crime situation within their area, no? Ano-ano yung mga tumaas na crime, ano-ano yung mga remedy, yung mga strategies na ginawa nila, and upon application of the strategies, ano yung naging epekto nito, what's the impact of the strategies, and so on. So these are all the things that they're discussing under the Comstat meeting, no? So as I've stated, they don't call it the Comstat, but they call it the PPOC, no, or the MPOC, no, for that matter. Okay. That's with regards to the Comstat policing. Do we have questions? Oh, sorry, I guess not. So we move into our last topic. This will be very short as we are going to be talking about evidence policing. I think we made mention of the concept of this already on our discussion on the problem-oriented or problem-based policing. If you can remember, the concept of problem-based policing is with regards to the identification of problem, no, and upon identification of problem, the creation of plan. No? So under evidence policing naman, sabi dito, rather than relying on conviction, conjecture, and conventional wisdom, decision, we are talking here about the conventional approach on how police officers deals with the problem. So if we're talking about the conventional approach, so we are talking about yung, halimbawa, what are the actions of the PNP whenever there is a crime reported like this in their jurisdiction, diba? They're going to conduct investigation, they're going to identify who are the offenders, and they're going to locate the offenders, and if it's possible, to arrest them and bring them to the court. That's the conventional way. For evidence policing naman, they're relying on the different alternative approaches that they could be able to adapt, no, in order to address a certain situation. So they are not relying on such conventional wisdom. No? The decision makers turn to the best available evidence about what does work and what does not work. No? So when they're evaluating the different options that they have in order to make a decision, no, they're using yung concept ng tinatawag nating what works best and what does not work at all. No? So they are trying. Doon sa problem based kasi it's more on academic there. They're more on conducting research to identify the problem. But for evidence policing is they're trying to make an experimentation on different issues and try to determine what really works, no? So I'll give you an example similar to the examples I'd given you in your previous discussion. Dito, halimbawa, meron tayong na-identify na isang grocery store, no? And accordingly, itong grocery store na to is mataas yung tinatawag nating shoplifting incidents, no? Ang daming nag-shoplift. Yung shoplifting, yung mga nagbubulsa sila ng mga item, no? Nilalabas nila yung mga item na hindi nila binabayaran. So if that is the issue, since we are talking about targeted policing dito sa evidence policing, ano? Evidence-based policing. We try to understand the problem as similar, as I've stated, to the problem-based policing. We try to understand the problem. What causes this thing to exist? What causes the crime of shoplifting increase in that specific grocery store? And upon identification of the problem, let's try to develop strategies based on the needs. No? So ano ba? Let me ask. Okay? So for example, you are the police officer, you are the COP, no? Ng isang istasyon. Tapos pumunta sa iyo si Mr. Pedro na isang may-ari ng isang grocery store. Sabi niya, "Sir, ano bang problema? Bakit ang daming shoplifter dito sa aking grocery store? Ano yung pwede mong i-suggest na gawin ko para mabawasan ang kaso ng shoplifting sa aking business?" Okay? So anybody na merong idea on how should they advise or approach this problem? Sino may idea? Anyone? Isip lang kayo ng possible remedy, no? Based on your understanding with regards to the concept of policing, with regards to the concept of, crime triangle, victimization, and whatsoever. Kasi dito natin i-apply yung mga pinag-aaralan natin eh. When there is a problem, how are we going to approach it? No? And how are we going to create a program or a plan in order to address the existing problem? So ano yung pwede natin gawin in that case, no? Para mabawasan or mawala yung mga shoplifter in that area. Any idea?
Sir, pwedeng pakiulit sir, nagko-connecting po kasi.
Okay. So, sino yan? Si Miss? So, Miss Agustin, ito yung problema, no? So, when we are talking about evidence policing, ang sinasabi natin is targeted policing natin. Let's try to identify the problem and try to make up a certain strategy in order to solve the problem. So, the problem that I will give you is that si Mr. Pedro na isang may-ari ng grocery store, no, ay laging nabibiktima ng shoplifting, no? Lagi siyang nananakawan ng mga shoplifter. So he asks you, no, as the chief of police in that specific area, in that specific place, tinanong kanya, "Sir, ay ma'am, anong kayang pwede kong gawin para nang sa ganun ay mabawasan ang incident ng shoplifting sa business ko kasi nalulugi na ako. So what would be your remedy? No? Ano yung pwede mong strategy na may suggest sa kanya?"
Maglagay ng CCTV, sir.
Okay. So, yan. That's one. No, simple lang. Ganun lang. At least there is a strategy. Mr. Pedro, meron ka bang CCTV? Pag sinabi niya, ay wala, sir. Oh, so you invest on CCTV. No? Bumili ka ng CCTV, palagyan mo ng CCTV on yung specific area mo, no? Maglagay ka ng CCTV diyan sa grocery store mo, and let's try to see if nabawasan yung crime rate or yung shoplifting incidents. Sa tingin niyo mababawasan kaya?
Babawasan, sir.
Tama. Ayan. So, thank you, Mr. Leonard. Yes, pwedeng mabawasan yan, no? Now, kung nakita mo, for example, that okay na, no? Sa kaso ni Mr. Pedro, since naglagay na siya ng CCTV, wala nang nagsha-shoplifting, ano? Kasi alam na ng mga shoplifter, ay may camera na, mahihirapan na tayo dito. Okay? So again, no, may lumapit na naman sa iyo. Halimbawa sa iyo, Mr. Leonard, ikaw ang COP diyan sa lugar ninyo, ano? Ito naman si Juan, no? Grocery store owner din. Okay? Grocery store owner din siya. Ang problema niya din, shoplifter. No? Ngayon, based on your past experience, sabi mo, meron ba kayong CCTV sa business niyo? Paano pag sinabi niya? Meron naman, sir. Pero bakit ganun? Marami pa rin krimen. Marami pa rin shoplifting na nangyayari. So, what would be your strategy then? No? Since, yun pala, yung isasuggest mo sana, ginawa naman niya. Pero bakit meron pa rin? So, ano na namang isasuggest niyo mo ngayon?
Pwedeng maglagay ng guards kapag, sir.
Okay. So, ayan. So, there is a new strategy, ano? Now, for example, that turns out to be effective. Okay? Naglagay ka ng, meron na siyang CCTV dati, no? Ngayon, naglagay pa siya ng security guard. So, naglagay siya ng security guard na bawasan yung crime rate, yung cases of shoplifting. Actually, nawala na. No? Nawala na siguro kasi nga may security guard na, may CCTV pa. Again, paano kung meron na namang ibang tao na the same problem, but then meron naman na, di ba? Tanungin mo, maglagay ka ng CCTV. Sabi mo, sir, meron na. Kumuha ka ng guard. Meron na rin, sir. Ano pa? No? Ano pa yung mga possible strategies na pwede nating gawin, no? Para nang sa ganun is mabawasan yung cases of shoplifting in a certain area, no? So, I mean, ang pinaka-point nito is that we come up with an effective strategy or methodology how to address a certain problem, how to address the crime problem that is suitable for his situation. You know, hindi kasi lahat sometimes can be solved by the installment of CCTV. Hindi rin lahat can be solved with the employment of guard, na kasi malay mo pati yung guard pala kasabwat, na yung CCTV mo pala merong blind spot and so on. So the very point here is that tignan natin, no? We try to employ. Kung in-apply natin ito, kasi the more, 'di ba, yung situation na sinasabi ko, the more and more tayong nagbibigay ng situation, the more ka rin nagbibigay ng strategies, no? Pero merong mag-e-exist pa rin na problem that hindi yung mga naisip mo ng strategies will not be effective. As I've stated, CCTVs, merong blind spot. Tama? Merong blind spot yan. As we are progressing, pati yung mga modus operandi ng kriminal, no? Ganun din. So, like now, ano? Gaya ngayon, Mr. Leonard, no? Nag-employ ka ng CCTV. Ayan, nag-employ ka ng CCTV. Ay, nag-install ka ng CCTV. Paano ngayon? Naka-face mask, naka-face shield, naka-sombrero na yung mga taong halos karamihan. So, it will make the installment of CCTV as deterrence to criminality less effective. No? Nagiging less effective na siya kasi it is okay now na magsuot ka ng mga pantakip ng mukha, no? Kasi it's already a normal, it's nagiging norm na siya sa ating society right now, ano? So with that, there's a need for us to strategize, no? Para nang sa ganun is ma-address natin yung crime problem. Ayan, how about security guard? As I have stated, kung nag-employ ka lang ng isang security guard, there's still a tendency na masalisihan pa rin yan. Kasi sa dami-dami ng pumapasok dyan, may possibility na sisingit sila sasingit silang papasok, makakasingit din sila palabas. Okay? So, what do you think are the possible strategies again to develop to address the current situation that we have now? And with that, no, ang gagawin natin dito is to experiment, no? To experiment. Ngayon, kung hindi na effective ang CCTV to deter criminals from committing their crime kasi nakatakip na sila ng mukha, if the employment of security guard is no longer effective kasi there's a tendency na masalisihan sila. Alam niyo naman yung mga modus operandi ng halimbawa ng mga salisigang, kunyari, o yan, kinakausap yung security guard. Halimbawa is yung isa nagpapacheck sa security guard, nagpapatulong sa security guard habang yung iba naman umaalis na, no, lumalabas na kasama na yung mga ninakaw nilang mga item and so on. So, we develop again. No? We try to develop again. We try to address the issues that we have. Hindi kasi yung nagre-rely lang tayo doon sa conventional way or strategies that we have. Like for example, installment of CCTV. That's conventional. No? Yun yung dati na nating ginagawa. Kung doon lang tayo nagre-rely on how we deal with criminality, matatabunan tayo or malalamangan tayo ng mga kriminal. Kasi criminals are thinking ways to beat the system. Nag-iisip sila ng paraan kung paano sila makakagawa pa rin ng krimen even if these different deterrence factors that we have, such as CCTV, security guards, are present. No? So, that's the very concept of evidence policing. We are, or criminals are progressing in terms of their methods on how they can be able to avoid detection in relation to their crime commission. And the police officer should do or should progress or should adapt in that same manner. Sige nga, isip nga tayo na let's try to brainstorm. Yung situation na sinasabi natin, no? CCTV, nakatakip na mga mukha natin. No? Pwede ka nang magnakaw dyan without, pwede kang mag-shoplift dyan even with the presence of CCTV, no? Hindi naman nakikita yung buong mukha mo. Like what happened here in Cauayan City. I don't know what's the progress doon sa isang shop, no? Isang remittance center, isang pawn shop na hinold up ng isang tao, no? Isang tao yung nag-hold up doon. And there's a CCTV. May CCTV doon sa loob ng pawn shop, no? Meron din CCTV sa malapit sa kahera. But then, no, the person was not identified because naka-sombrero siya, naka-face mask, naka-jacket, and so on. So hindi naging effective or naging efficient yung traditional strategy natin to prevent crime. So what do you think would be the possible approach diyan? Ano yung pwede nating gawin para mas mapaigting pa natin ang ating mga methodologies in preventing criminals to commit their crimes? Anyone?
Sir,
Yes, Mr. Gadingan.
tungkol po ba dun sa shoplifter o dun sa pawn shop, sir?
Let's say for example sa shoplifting na lang. Sinabihan na natin, install kang CCTV. Hindi na effective kasi kahit naman may CCTV, nagnanakaw pa rin sila. Nakatakip mukha nila. Ano pa ang pwede nating gawin?
Kapag sa shoplifter, sir, pwedeng magdagdag ng mga personnel sa shop. Halimbawa, mga salesperson, sir, mga sales lady, ganun, sir. Para mas makita nila yung mga gamit sa bag, sir.
Parang you know the strategy of Pandayan, di ba? Yung Pandayan bookshop. Yan actually yung strategy nila na isa. That meron silang empleyado na hindi naman naka-uniforme, na ang ginagawa niya lang nag-iikot-ikot doon sa kala mo customer, which is ang purpose niya talaga, manmanan yung mga galaw ng mga customer. Tama yun, that could be effective. No? Ilan kaya? Depende sa area. Kasi sabi ko nga, meron pa rin paraan. Siyempre, criminal would think, ito yung taong nag-iikot yan. No? So, ang gagawin lang natin, pag nakalingat yan, pwede nating salisihan, gaya ng ginawa natin sa security guard, na kung saan is yung isa kakausapin, magpapatulong, habang yung isa naman namumulot na ng gamit, nagbubulsa na ng gamit, whatsoever. No? Okay yun. That's a good. Kasi sabi ko nga, some of the, you don't know, Save More are also implementing that. Meron din ganyan, no? May mga personnel sila na akala mo customer lang, but they are security personnel pala na nagmamanman, no? Nagmamanman lang doon sa area. Actually, it's very funny, no? That doon sa isang klase ko before, sa intelligence class, no? wherein sabi ko sa estudyante, sige, try mo ngang picturean or bilangin lahat ng CCTV ng Save More. After 10 minutes, nakita na siya. I mean, after 10 minutes is winarningan na siya, no? Napansin na siya. Ibig sabihin, they're very vigilant. And you are very lucky if you have those types of personnel, ano? Na talagang ginagampanan yung kanyang trabaho. 10 minutes siyang nag-iikot doon, siguro nagtaka na sila, 10 minutes wala pang nabibili, wala pang pinupulot, paikot-ikot. Bakit kaya? So nilapitan na siya ng security guard, kinausap na siya. So that's a very a very trained security personnel, ano? So if you could employ such thing, that's good. Capacity building, isa pa 'yon. Okay? Try to capacitate your personnel in terms of being vigilant. Yan, i-seminar mo yung mga empleyado mo, ano-ano yung mga dapat nilang tignan sa mga customer nila na pwedeng maging signs na kung saan sila ay may mga masamang binabalak, di ba? That's one of the strategies that we could develop. Kasi pag alam ng mga empleyado mo, alam ng mga empleyado mo yung common strategies or common methodologies or modus operandi of the criminals, different criminals, on how they commit their crime, that they could be more efficient, no? Kesa magdagdag ka ng magdagdag ng empleyado, which is it's a losing mas ikakalugi mo 'yun, ano? Halimbawa, kaya nilang salisihan ng isang gwardiya. So, ang ginawa mo, nagdagdag ka ng 3 gwardiya. So, nalulugi ka pa rin kasi nadadagdagan yung pinapasweldo mo. In which, ang pwede mo sigurong gawin is to capacitate or train your existing personnel. Yung mga empleyado mo nang meron. Halimbawa, yung security guard mo na yan, i-training mo yan. Yung mga sales lady mo yan, yung mga bagger mo dyan, i-train mo yan. Na kung saan is they could be able to spot yung mga yung mga customers na merong masamang binabalak, di ba? That I think that's one of the strategies that we could try to adapt, no? Yes, I guess that would work too, yung suggestion ni Mr. Gadingan, no? Wherein maglagay ka pa ng isang personnel na kung saan siya yung mag-iikot naman sa loob. No? Iba yung naka-stay doon sa entrance and exit, iba rin yung nag-iikot doon sa loob, no? Which we had observed, of course, for different groceries, different shops already, ano? Specifically, sabi ko nga, Pandayan Bookshop, ginagawa nila yan, ano? They have personnels inside na kung saan is akala mo customer, but it's empleyado siya na tumitingin-tingin sa mga customer kung ano yung mga pinaggagawa nila. O baka meron din kayong ibang observation that you can share in relation to what we are talking about. So, that's with regards to evidence policing. The idea is that they try to test, they try to test the different strategies that they have. Sinusubukan nila yung mga iba't ibang pamamaraan na yan at tinitignan nila kung ano yung ubra. Ano yung uubra, ano yung maganda, ano yung mga hindi na applicable. And the idea is that don't rely on the conventional methods that we have before, na meron tayo noon. Hindi maganda, that especially that's just for security, but that's crime naman. Para sa mga kapulisan, hindi maganda na mag-rely tayo doon sa mga, halimbawa, patrol, Ang patrol, it is effective, it really develops police presence, and naman the deterrence factors of having police officers within the area na naglalakad-lakad, nagpapatrol. It's really a deterrence factor. However, do you think that it is still has the same effect as it was before? Tingin nyo ba ang epekto ng patrol, tingin nyo ba ang epekto ng presence ng police officers is ganun pa rin, ang epekto niya sa current situation that we have today? Of course, it is no longer the same, The criminals knows already the routine of the police officers, and they try to adapt, They try to adapt their different strategies to the methods of the police officers. And kaya nga, minsan ang mga criminals are one step ahead of the police officer because sila, nag-iisip sila kumbaga ng paraan paano nila malusutan, no, yung mga strategies ng ating kapulisan. Samantalang ang police officer nagre-rely lang doon sa kung ano ang established na way of deterring or apprehending, no, or resolving criminality within that area, no. So under evidence policing, we try to become innovative on the way how we deal with criminality through experimentation, no, through thinking of a new way or innovative way of preventing crime and whatsoever, no. It is focused, no, meron tayong core focus doon sa evidence-based practices, no. It is focused on the so-called what works, no, ano yung pwede, ano yung umuubra, ano yung gumagana, ano yung hindi, no, what doesn't work, no, ano yung mga hindi na effective na strategies natin when it comes to crime prevention, and what is promising, or ano yung mga may chance na maging effective or maging efficient in order for us to enhance our capability of dealing with the crime problem that we have today, no? So that is with regards to evidence policing, no? I believe we discussed a lot of the different policing strategies already, no? Marami na tayong idea with regards to the different policing strategies na pwedeng i-adapt ng ating kapulisan, na pwedeng i-enhance ng ating kapulisan, no? Para nang sa ganun ay mas makapacitate pa sila to come up with the crime prevention, or to come up with a better crime prevention programs. Okay? So that's it, no? That's the end of the lecture that I had prepared for this session, no? Do you have any questions? By the way, thanks pala for participating. I'm very much thankful that you are participating in our discussion. Okay? So do we have any question, guys? May tanong kayo? Meron?
Wala na po ata, sir.
Okay. Sure kayo dyan, ha? Ayan. So, if wala nang tanong, again, repeat announcement for those individuals who were not able to attend kanina, no, na hindi narinig yung announcement natin. Your midterm will be next week na, following siguro our class schedule if hindi sila magbababa ng schedule. So, you prepare already, there will be at least an activity that I will be giving you as part of your sa requirements for this midterm, no? Standby na lang dyan. But for the others, no, you can start reading already the module that I had provided. I will just send the updated copy na lang later on, no? And for those hindi yung mga merong absent na hindi na attendan na lecture, I will try to upload, no, all of the lectures that we had conducted. Meron tayong dalawa pa, no, pangalawa to ngayon na hindi pa na-upload para doon sa mga hindi nakapag-attend, no? Para naman sa mga nakapag-attend, no, it's good that we have the recorded lecture so that pwede nyong balikan ang ating mga past discussion para ma-refresh kayo on the topics that we discussed. So the coverage will be the first topic, no, the first module of our discussion on this subject until this last module for midterm, Kumbaga, kung yung term natin nung face-to-face pa is cover to cover. Okay? So, if there are no more questions, guys, thank you very much for attending this lecture. I do hope I was able to impart some valuable knowledge with regards to this topic that we discussed. That's it for today. See you guys on the next lecture. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.